This is the homework quiz for week number 16, and we're looking at question number 7, which is very similar to question 6 that we just solved. We have the same tank of gas that holds 14 gallons, and we have the same 100% ruler that's already completed from question number 6, which will make things a little easier for us. The only difference here is that we're trying to find out how much gas is in the tank when it is 7/10 full. So the fraction is different, but the problem is the same. And we're going to solve it the same two ways. One with the 100% ruler, and secondly with proportional reasoning. We're going to set up two fractions and use cross multiplication to solve it. So let's go and solve it the first way using the 100% ruler. As I mentioned, we've already completed it. We've already done the work and filled it out. So it's really pretty easy from this point on out. We have 14 gallons, and we took and divided this 14 in problem number 6, divided it by 10, since this is divided into tenths. And then we figured out that 14 divided by 10 is 1 4/10. And given that information, we could add 1 4/10 to give us 2 8/10, and then to give us 4 2/10, 5 6/10, etc., all the way down the line for the rest of this 100% ruler. And all we need to do now is to count the tenths to complete using the 100% ruler to solve this problem. This is 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10. 7/10. That's our 70%. And also the answer then is below. How many gallons of gas are there if the tank is 7/10 or 70% full? The amount of gas is 9 8/10 gallons. So this is the one way of the two that we can solve it using the 100% ruler, which is what the question asks. But we can also solve it a second way, and that is to set up a proportion table like the one that's shown here. And this is something that you're going to be doing again in 7th grade and 8th grade with CPM math. And it is a useful way to kind of organize things, because setting up the proportions can be the most confusing part when you're solving with cross multiplication. And this is the step that we can use to set up problems for cross multiplication. Here we're looking at fractions and percents and decimals in this lesson, which is all about parts and wholes. So on the left-hand side, those are the two different variables that we have. We have parts and wholes, parts in the top, the wholes on the bottom. And then over here, we have the two different categories that are listed in our 100% ruler and in the question. We have the percent or fraction and the gallons over here on the right-hand side. So here, the part that is associated with the fraction is 7. 7 out of the whole 10. And for the gallons, we know that the whole tank has 14 gallons, but we don't know what the part is in gallons if it is 7 out of 10 full. This is the percent table that we can use to set up a proportion like this. 7 out of 10 equals x out of 14. This is percent or fractions, 7 out of 10. This is the gallons of gas. So with this information, we can go ahead and cross multiply 7 times 14 and divide it by 10, and that's going to give us the amount of gas that is in a full tank that has 14 gallons when it's full. So let's go ahead and do that math just to see it. 14 times 7, as we said, because we're going to cross multiply. 4 times 7, 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 7 times 1 plus 2 is 98. And 98 divided by 10. Now we can divide 98 by 10 using long division. It's certainly possible. 10 goes into 98 9 times with 8 left over. And we can add decimal points, add a 0, bring that down, and 10 goes into 80 8 times, and have 9 and 8/10. That's a possibility. We can do that. But as we've been seeing in the videos for this week, there's an easier way to be able to take and to divide something by 10, and that is to shift the decimal point. Here, we're taking 98 divided by 10. We're moving the decimal one place to the left. Our number system is powers of 10, so we can divide by 10 by moving the decimal to the left, or multiply by 10 by moving the decimal place to the right. So these are the two strategies that you can use to solve question number 7. You can use the 100% ruler, or you can set up a proportion and use cross multiplication to solve it. Once you feel comfortable with this question, go ahead and do the practice question that's provided for you here in homework quiz for week number 16. You can talk.